Hey there friends, it's Codiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today was the start of Gamescom 2022, and that means a whole lot of new games have just been announced. But none of that matters in this particular moment because 2022 is pretty much set in stone. Sure, there are still a few big games to come this year, and we're excited about all of those, but today I wanted to focus on a game that we've been covering for a minute here on the channel, Gotham Knights. First, let's rewind time to August 17th. In a tweet, the WB Montreal team announced that Gotham Knights had gone gold. For those that don't know, going gold means the game is ready for printing, and this is huge because we're still a few months away from the actual release date of the game. Now keep in mind, things will probably need to be patched, tweaked, and hotfixed once the game goes live, but for them to go gold a few months out is a pretty big deal. I don't think this really changes much of what the community has been asking for, more gameplay and more systems, but it's great to know Gotham Knights is on track, especially given all of the delays that have plagued games this year. Going gold has clearly given the team some confidence and liberties, because at Gamescom, a new trailer announced Gotham Knights would be releasing about 1 week earlier on October 21st. This is an incredibly smart move by the team, as it gives the game another week of play before any other competing interests start to steal the spotlight. If you look into November, games like God of War Ragnarok, A Plague Tale Requiem, even Skull and Bones pose a threat to Gotham Knights' player base, so launching a week earlier is a no-brainer. The trailer that was released at Gamescom was another cinematic showcase. I know, boo, but honestly, if you look back at all of the other Arkham games, there's always at least one villain's trailer, and that's really what today was all about, a showcase of some of the new baddies we'll be taking down in Gotham Knights. What I think a lot of fans will be excited about is the introduction of Harley Quinn. Now, I'm not a comic book guy, that's Livid's area of expertise, but I've seen a lot of folks talking about this version of Harley Quinn being directly pulled from the Harleen comic series. It's interesting because she comes off completely different in each of the scenes that she's in. First, we see her in some sort of cage or prison, looking as close to her traditional self as I think we get in this trailer. We then see her on some sort of main stage, clearly a trap set for the Gotham Knights. I dare say she almost looks normal in this form, which is such a complete 180 from how she's portrayed most of the time, especially in recent adaptations like The Suicide Squad. Fast forward again and we get this incredibly different Harley Quinn, all dressed in black, in what I would say is the biggest contrast from how she normally looks. It's a really interesting presentation of the villain, and I hope that means she plays a big part in the story, because it would be a great change of pace to spotlight her instead of some of the other usual suspects. Our final glimpse of Harley happens right at the end of the trailer, decked out in black and red leather and carrying her classic oversized mallet. It's yet another variation of the character that we'll run across in the game. Obviously, there's still so much shrouded in mystery when it comes to the story, but it's great to see Harley so prominently featured. I was also really excited to see that Mr. Freeze made his triumphant return in this new trailer. Remember, we saw him way back in one of the first showcases for the game. It's great that he's back in the mix, and it doesn't look like much has changed, except for the fact that he's now got control of a giant mechanical spider. If I'm putting the pieces together, this is some sort of phase 2 to the encounter that we saw previously, but I could be wrong. Taking Mr. Freeze and giving him some massive toys does seem on brand, but we're just speculating on how that all will play out. What I think is the biggest surprise in the entire trailer is the introduction of Clayface. Obviously, this villain is no stranger to the Batman universe, but it was great to see a more modern take on one of the classic bad guys. There was even a great line in the trailer where he said, "See you at the premiere," which ties back to the villain's origins as an actor that eventually goes insane. Clayface also looks to have his own private army of goons, and sure, they look like Clay zombies, but I have no doubt they're under his direct control and will most likely be a threat that we have to confront. As a final little teaser, we did get a quick shot of Red Hood putting up a picture of the Penguin on a bulletin board before stabbing it with a knife. We have seen Oswald Cobblepot in previous trailers, and it was clear that he's tied to the Court of Owls in some way, but I thought this small moment from the trailer really stood out as interesting. There's one last thing I wanted to point out, and it happens right at the beginning of the trailer with the introduction of Renee Montoya. For those that don't know, she's got a really interesting comic book arc. From what we can tell, she's still part of Gotham PD, trying to keep Gordon's memory alive by working directly with the Knights. It'll be interesting to see how her story plays out because, like I said, and I don't want to spoil anything here, she's got a really interesting character arc. Now, whether or not you decide to play Gotham Knights, you better believe that Livid and I will be checking out the game, as well as a number of other titles still to come this year. So if you want to stay up to date on everything going on in the world of gaming, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe. I also want to let you know that our 2022 Leave a Legacy charity event is set for Saturday, October 22nd. For a second year in a row, we've partnered with Connecticut Children's to help bring the joy of video games to kids at the hospital. Mark your calendars, set a reminder, and be sure to join us on Discord to stay up to date on everything regarding our upcoming event. That link, of course, is below. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.